Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Northernlion. I'm playing the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We've been rolling. You know, I'm still in the freaking dark here. Just give me a second. You got, how many streamers does it take to change a light bulb? Give me a moment here. There's your seed, EDCW 8000. You gotta pull on this thing, and then that comes out. Just give me a moment here. There you go. Almost got it. Pull this thing up, and then which one? This one's been causing a problem. Oh, it's hot. That's all hot light, dude. This is next level YouTube content here. If you give me a moment. Max 60 watts. Are you 60 watts? I didn't even look. It's the hottest light bulb I've ever touched in my adult life. How many watts are you? I think it's turned down 4 watts. Alright, give me a moment if you don't mind. The light bulb has been removed, or acquiesced if you will. Pull this thing out. Slot her back in. It's gonna take just a millisecond. There you go, that's a terrible sound. Turn the light back. Oh, that's nice. You like that, Ruka? Time, 1 minute 20 seconds. 114 on speed, 10 rate of fire. Dude, good rate of fire, good damage, good luck. Plus Egghead. And is that his holy mantle because of our trinket? Well, you guys murdered each other. It was very nice of you. I think we ignored the damage thanks to Egghead, which is just extremely lucky. To level with you, Mom's Bra, probably our best option. Even though we have no bombs. We're still gonna roll with it. So yeah, I apologize for opening this episode by changing my light bulb. But that's okay. It was fun. And I had a good time. If you'll excuse me. I mostly wanted to demonstrate what a great man I am in my ability to get this done. What's your wattage, dude? That's the real problem. I'm looking at it right now. Philips, 72 watts. There's your issue. Ruka, we were using a light bulb that was like 20% stronger than the maximum light bulb we're allowed to use right there. I did check my voicemail, by the way. And this is not a made-up story, I promise you. It was a butt dial, at least I hope it was a butt dial, of a small child, maybe like a 10-year-old, singing a nursery rhyme. But it was all like garbled and glitched. It was, I didn't know what they were singing, but I'm gonna sing the creepiest one I could think of. Jesus loves me, yes I know, 'cause the Bible tells me so. Now, I don't believe that that was it, and I don't believe that it was a menacing phone call, but it's a creepy phone call to receive, you know, when you're home by yourself. I'm not creeped out, I'm just saying, I, you know, wouldn't be surprised. If Kate got that call, I would expect a phone call to me pretty quickly that's like, you gotta get home immediately, because I think I'm about to be killed by a ghost. But in the whole scheme of things, could be worth just a butt dial, I think. It's just a butt dial, it's not a real phone call. It's just a butt dial. Warrants no concern at all. It's just a butt dial. It's a Canadian band. They sing a song, it's called It's Just My Luck. I forget. It's from the era where it was like, you know, 99 or 98, Ricky Martin took off. And, you know, Enrique Iglesias took off. And then 2000, it was like a bunch of Latin-inspired boy bands. Dudes that were from, like, Scarborough, Ontario. At least up here. You know, that's how we rolled back then. And maybe still to this day, I don't know. We got the Sam Smiths and the, who are the other, Shawn Mendes? Is he still popular? I always get him confused with Sean Desmond. I think we got the guy who sings that Stitches song. He really loves Heroes of the Storm. I love that move right there. Oh, that felt amazing. You're dead, right? Like, yeah, okay. You just had to unfreeze to die. Alright, well, you know what? We're kind of due, or at least we're resilient enough to deal with, oh, we should have definitely taken those, but, we're kind of resilient enough to deal with a run that's not out of control from the start, for sure. Like, we got great stats here, and that's something that hasn't happened in a long time for us, so, to start a run with great stats feels, just fine. I feel like we could definitely, afford to take things a little slower on this one. Ah, it's so nice to be able to play games with a light on. I don't know if anybody else, I don't know if many other people feel that way. I'm very protective of like my eye health because well, you know, I'm not really starting with a lot of room to go down. You know, like my eyes are bad enough. I don't really want to tempt fate. So if I'm ever like studying or something, I always make sure I got adequate lighting. Otherwise, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not doing it. My back, though, we got like one little coffee table. I had a textbook and a laptop, and I was leaning over like my own belt line to try to study last night. Woke up this morning, and I was like, why is my back all messed up? And I was like, because I'm an idiot. That's right. So this is an incredible floor to have golden bombs on, because we just picked up Bomber Boy. And Bomber Boy, ugh. God, I hate Bozo. I think. Is this one of those items where there's a hidden good thing about it? That was not smart. That I always neglect to talk about. I don't think it is, but there's always the chance, you know? It's just like a slap in the face. Like, I'd rather get 0 damage than 0.1. And I know that's like the sort of thing that could probably be arranged, but... Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you on that one. We should buy the key. It was our own fault for not buying, or not blowing our way into that room in the first place, but we should pay comeuppance there. Absolutely. Okay, bomb. 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 I'm gonna, like, I really don't want to run away from this floor, because I feel like it's gonna be worse. Next floor. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Unless we get something incredible on this floor, I'm going to want to stick with this floor as long as possible, because having unlimited Bomber Boy bombs might be as strong as our run, like, literally ever gets, unfortunately, but definitely as strong as it's going to be for the near future. Yeah, okay, so not an amazing upgrade there in the form of little Chad, and all of a sudden, you know, it's be careful what you wish for. A finger curls on the monkey's paw. We've gotten good starting stats for the first time in a long time. Now we're approaching kind of like the middle third of the game, or the end of the first third. The dawning of the third impact. That's right, I'm an anime scholar. What of it? I'm not actually an anime scholar. My favorite anime is Curb Your Enthusiasm. I've been watching a ton of that lately. What a great television program. I know I'm getting older, because when I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, when I was a young whippersnapper, a 20-year-old pup, me and my friends would fight over who was Larry David, like it was who gets to be Leonardo in the Ninja Turtles. No, I'm Larry. No, I'm Larry. Now I watch it, and I'm like, sometimes Larry's got some good points, but man, he's kind of a jerk. 10 years ago when I was watching the show, I didn't feel that way. I was like, Larry David has a good point, and the fact that he's right is the most important thing. Now when I watched it, I'm like, Larry, come on, just say thank you for the dinner. She did provide you with the dinner. Just because her husband paid for the meal doesn't mean you shouldn't thank the wife for the dinner as well. I mean, it's really like a weird thing to get hung up on. But I've heard, and I've never met Larry David, I hear stories that he's like actually the nicest guy in the world. And I was like, it must be therapeutic to play like a total dick on the show that you choose to make once every 6 years whenever you're bored, really, which is the ideal way to work, probably, if you can do it. Okay, come on, just give me a teleport. Ooh, Egghead saved us our charge there. You know what? It's been a while. Let's try it. I do not think it's good. I don't think Cursed Eye is good. But I do think it's weird. Sometimes you can appreciate some weirdness over some goodness. I'm gonna take that. If we get an arcade, we get an arcade. Honestly, we don't need HP or speed. What we really need is access. Access to items of some quality. I think we're gonna spend 2 keys. See what we get. I'd rerun the run, of course, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So goodbye, run. It's been fun. Now we get triple shot, worst rate of fire, worst damage, better luck, worst speed. We have a life. We can come back as Blue Baby, and I honestly think we would want to. Because, well, it gives us a statistical bonus that I've never really thought about. You know what? Let's be smart here. What am I looking for? I am looking for Ankh Isaac. Doesn't it give you a stat bonus when you come back to life? I'm looking here in the wiki. It doesn't say so. But the last couple of times we've had it, I feel like it has brought back. It's given us some extra statistical power. Like, usually it gives us some extra damage, I think. But, I don't know. Might be losing it. So we got Zodiac. Always like to check with Zodiac and see if we got Stompy, because that's really the Zodiac item that I think it affects us the most if we know that it exists. That and Taurus, but like obviously we don't have Taurus. If we don't see a stat change, we know we don't have Taurus. But if we have Leo, we could use that to save ourselves some bombs and also, you know, get to some situations we would otherwise probably be stuck not being able to touch. So I am going to make a 4th level Meat Boy, and honestly, we're going to continue to roll with the potato peeler because we got no other options. This run is like full-on Zane. Dude, Euthanasia. Not just my favorite POD song. Oh, we have Curse of the Tower. I was going to say, there's always some kind of rub on these runs. This run is still fine, though. It's not even close to bad. I mean, we're still so far ahead of schedule. Euthanasia is, you know, it's got great potential. Our statistics, like I should say, statistically speaking, this run is markedly worse than our last run, but that definitely does not make it bad implicitly. Now that hurts. That hurts me a little bit when you do that. Take bomb bed. We don't have special bombs. We would have noticed. Look at that. I don't think I've ever made that play before. That felt great. Mind you, we got garbage out of it, but on a self-esteem level, that was awesome. Dude, give me curved horn. Now we've got much better damage. We knew our boss fight was coming up. 50% chance deal with the angel? I don't know. Maybe we got a weird little Mega Satan run coming up. I feel like I've been on the verge of like an awesome streak for a long time, and we're finally like approaching it. In my opinion, at least. I don't want to act like it's a guarantee or anything like that, but hit this up here, dude. By the way, I always forget the name of this item, but it's incredible. I literally just picked it up, but it's an exceptional item, and I'm very happy to have it. Our damage is now ridiculous. We went from like 4 damage or 3 damage to 15 damage in one floor. This is a good one. I feel like this could be the start of us having an amazing streak. I always like to have something to play for in Isaac, and of course we're still looking for Blue Fatty to get 1,000,001%. And again, we might be looking for other stuff, maybe even leaving comments. Maybe you're like, when is NL gonna get to those? And the answer is A, tweet me, and B, the backlog's starting to grow a little bit. You should always respect the backlog. I'd say this every time. Once you get to a certain level of proficiency and awareness, the backlog is a positive thing. I will acquiesce, it starts as a negative. You know, you're like, NL doesn't know that, you know, a tears upgrade is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You'd think tears upgrade, oh, maybe that'll make me cry. I don't know, just idiotic things that have popped through my brain while playing these games sometimes. Magician, lovers. Give me Magician, please. I think we'll go all the way through this, because like the run is so strong. We might as well do every room and get every available advantage. But I feel like the same in Slay the Spire, too. The Slay the Spire daily is very small because I'm doing dailies, but you like having it's like having a grain silo. Storage is always good, you know? If you could only eat what you plucked out of the ground that day, you're gonna have a feast in the autumn and a terrible winter. Let's actually go. That's why I request that you respect the backlog. Not in all situations. I don't ask you to respect it without questioning it, but for Isaac, you should respect it. We'll get there when we get there. We're gonna have a fun time doing it. It's very much, you know, these are an exercise in meandering and enjoying the journey just as much, if not more, as the destination. I'm actually thinking, like, I don't know, maybe when we get this save file done, I'll try to pop off a streak or two if Mother Nature allows, and maybe I'll do a third save file. I know it sounds crazy, you're like, you just finished this one, but I'm running the numbers in my head, and I'm like, yeah, if it takes us another year and 2 months to do another save file, why not? It'll be fun. Maybe. No promises, because I would also love to just get, like, a chance at, like, a plus 50 streak. I know we've got the talent level, if I could focus, because we've done it before. The game was in a different state, you know, it was pre-Afterbirth Plus, but still. Gimme? Yummy, 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 I got potato peel. Lovely, and it feels like loving you. How do you like your mashed potatoes? Don't answer, I was asking Ruka. Dude, Bloody Lust, or Lusty Blood is so good. When I was a kid, I always had mashed potatoes. No skin. You know, they're peeled. The potatoes are peeled, so it's just like one white ovoid structure. I don't want to say the EGG word because it's just got a, you know, you have like egg, LOL, and I'll say LOL, and it'll be embarrassing. And I thought that was ideal. So when I made my own mashed potatoes as an adult the first few times, I was like, you gotta peel the potatoes all the way. Saw a YouTube video at one point. Somebody questioned it. They said, hey, what I do is I peel them kind of like raggedly, and I leave a little bit of skin on, but the bulk of it is peeled, and it gives it a nice bit of texture. And I was like, man, this guy's a rebel. And I tried it for myself, and I found that I was a fan. Dang, she looked good. Downside, she had a man. He was a Rudy, too. A nincompoop. She told me soon your little birdie's gonna fly the coop. She was a flake like corn, and I was born not... You guys like Far Side? Anyway. So now that's my mashed potato. This is, if I can give you at least one piece of my advice, and this is not me saying it's the best way to make mashed potatoes, but if you've always... your task for the next time you make mashed potatoes, however you normally have them, mix it up. If you normally go skinless, leave a little skin. You normally go little skin? I don't know, try them skinless. Maybe as an adult you prefer that sense of purity. That's kind of a weird way to describe it. But I was like thinking about it the other day, and I was like, I think most people garner their eating habits from their family. Because Kate and I, we'll have these discussions sometimes, and I have to remind myself, it's really just like one family's way of doing things versus another family's way of doing things. Like when we were talking about going camping, which we did last summer, and we're going to do again this summer, but Kate was like, what's camping food? And I was like, camping food? S'mores, hot dogs, you know. Anything you can cook over a camping stove like that is a big one. But hot dogs are definitely like the wieners over an open fire is the quintessential camping food. And my wife was like, you're crazy. The most common camping foods are like Japanese curry and instant ramen. And I was like, man, really just goes to show you. There's a big difference here. When I think of camping, I think of like a couple of things. I think of like definitely hot dogs, definitely s'mores, beef jerky, stuff along those lines. Maybe you catch a fish, you cook it in a pan over that camping stove or something like that, but I never would have thought instant ramen and Japanese, you know, or instant ramen and Japanese curry. And some of you, by the way, are going to be thinking she's wrong. She's not wrong. It's just a different culture, you know? Kate's parents, well, Kate was born in Korea. Kate's parents, not only born in Korea, lived there for like the first 35, 40 years of their lives. You know, they got a different perspective on camping than the rest of us. It comes up now and then when I think about that when I talk to other people, and I'm like, how do you eat your blanks? And we all have these, especially it comes up on the NLSS all the time, we have these entrenched notions of like, if you eat them like this, you're crazy. I've never seen anybody eat them like that. And you're like, yeah, it's a regional thing, I guess. I mean, we play it up for the drama of the show, of course, but... You know, the fork and knife for fish and chips debate, I think it's the perfect sort of microcosm to look at it. There's people that respond to that debate that say, I have never seen anybody use a knife and fork to eat fish and chips. Fair enough. I believe you. I'm with Mouth, or Mouth's with me. I've never seen anybody use their hands to eat fish and chips in my entire life. It seems antithetical to me because you get your hands all oily, but I'm trying not to put my finger on the scale in this discussion, okay? I'm just saying. I guess in our part of Canada where we grew up, you know, 100 years ago somebody brought fish and chips over and they said, use a fork for these. When they went to New York, they said, you never use a fork for these. Are you out of your mind? And now all of a sudden, 100 years later, 300 years later, who knows? We're all having ridiculous arguments about it online. I will stand by one unpopular food opinion that people make fun of me for from time to time. I still eat pizza with a knife and fork on occasion. And I'll explain why. The real reason why I do it is obvious, but I want to point out that many times when people are like, that's ridiculous, the reason they say it's ridiculous is because it's like me trying to be like fancy. And this is not the case at all. You see one Chuck E. Cheese commercial where it's like a rich lady eating a pizza with her knife and fork, and then she clutches her pearls when the cool Chuck E. Cheese dude comes in, and all of a sudden it's ruined the marketing for eating pizza with a knife and fork. I eat pizza with a knife and a fork because sometimes the pizza's too hot. I know you could just wait, but you could also eat it hot with a knife and a fork. You might be saying if it's too hot for your hands, it might be too hot for your mouth. This mouth is made of asbestos. You know how much melted cheese I've had attached to the roof of my mouth? You literally, it could eat like a fire and be okay. I mean, it would burn and I'd be like, oh, that's hot, that's hot, that's hot. But I'd be like, it was worth it, it's good. Anyway, the main reason, usually I eat pizza cold, but the main reason to eat pizza with a knife and a fork is if you reheat it and it comes out super hot, but you want to eat it right away. Normally when it comes out of like a pizzeria or something like that, you just eat it with your hands and you're good to go. I prefer to eat it with my hands because it's less hassle, but in some situations I think a knife and a fork is the right way to go. That's all I'm saying. That one I'll stand by. Everything else is okay. I don't mind how people like to eat their foods. I mean, if you're eating soup with a fork, you're being a weirdo. It's a weird thing. People are going to question you about it. You might as well just get ready for the questions instead of being like, why is everybody judging the way I... You're eating it weird, okay? Most of the other ones we talk about are not within the realm of weirdness. They're just, you know, either it's a regional thing or for some reason they've decided this is the way they want to do it, and, you know, it's still... You know, like eating cheesies with a chopstick or Cheetos with a chopstick, you know? 2 chopsticks, I guess. A set of chopsticks. I understand why. I use my hands, and then I wash my hands. If you want to use chopsticks and make sure your hands don't get dirty, by all means. Don't let me stop you. Don't let one jerk on the internet stop you. That's my opinion there. So when you get married, it is really like... It's like a family... manners or mannerisms deathmatch. It's like 2 families' customs merge and then they become something new. In some things, like probably I've won out, and some things Kate's won out. At home, we eat with chopsticks all the time. It kind of blew me away when we were talking about it on the show maybe like a month ago. And Rob was like, do you guys own chopsticks? And I was like, yeah, like, I don't know, like 20 pair? Like not ones from the restaurant that we just saved, like... We got chopsticks. Chopsticks that we put in the dishwasher and wash and then use. I think they're superior for a lot of foods. Once you get used to them, at least. I didn't even think that was strange, but it's true. When I was in college, and I lived, not on my own, but like, you know, not with my family, I don't think anyone in our household owned chopsticks. It was like the only reason you'd need chopsticks is when you get Chinese takeout, and you would already be getting chopsticks from the restaurant. So it's no problem. Plus, you'd already be like, throw the chopsticks in the drawer and grab a fork. I've won out on sandwiches, though. I'm gonna just give you like 100% on that one. Womb 2 already? Oh my lord. When I came to Vancouver for the first time, you know, it's not like I was a house husband or anything like that, but she was going to school and I was doing YouTube stuff, so I have flexible hours. And I was like, yeah, no worries. Like, if I'm up earlier than you, I'll make you lunch. And then I looked in the fridge, and the ingredients she had for sandwiches in the fridge was like Wonder Bread, like enriched flour, white bread. There's nothing wrong with it for like toast, but for a sandwich, it makes my skin crawl a little bit. With this much HP, I'm not gonna fight Hush, but I'll admit I kind of want to do. Maybe we'll do Delirium if it shows up. We're doing Mega Satan, so the run's a little. It's got a little wonk there, which I appreciate anyway. But and then Kraft Singles, which is like American cheese, and then square bologna and lettuce and mayonnaise. And she's like, "That's the sandwich I want." And I almost like. I'm not gonna say that I was a jerk about it because it was still, you know, the early stages of any relationship. You don't want to be like, if you eat that sandwich, I'm out. But I was kind of like, this is not a good sandwich. Like, I don't know if it's just if this is your preference. Or you haven't been exposed to sandwiches that are a little bit better than this, but I don't think you should be eating this. You're better than this. Basically is what it came down to. And now she's a sandwich snob like I am. So my cultural ideals won out in that regard. So one, like, you know, I lived in Asia for a year. We've been back to Korea. We've been to Japan a few times. Japanese food, Korean food as well. Amazing. So much good stuff. I'm glad that, you know, if you live in a reasonably populated area in North America, you can get access to pretty good, like, versions or at least facsimiles, sorry. It's one of those ones I definitely pronounce wrong. But the one thing I think they just totally do not do at all properly is sandwiches. It's always like, you know, what's a Japanese sandwich like? It's like white bread, whipped cream, and sliced strawberries. You're like, what? I'm not gonna. Are you? Okay. Well, that's a little ridiculous, NL. What about one that's like a pork cutlet and then it's buttered on both sides and has mayonnaise on both sides? Like, no, I don't want that. Okay. What about a shrimp salad sandwich on banana bread? Okay, I can't tell, NL, if you're just making that one up. But I'm being 50-50 with you. You might be able to find a shrimp salad sandwich on banana bread if you go to the right place in Japan. Okay. I'm not trying to offend the denizens of the country. I'm just saying there are things that North American, I know Europeans are going to be watching this, like, laughing at me, but there are things that North America does right from a food standpoint. Sandwiches are one of them. I think in my opinion, we got the best sandwiches on earth. How many sandwiches have I eaten in Africa? 0. Valid. Australia? 0. South America? 0. Europe? Probably like 3 or 4. I know, you know, Europe is a culturally disparate series of so is Africa. Australia is not. I mean, the continent is Oceania. Oceania, I guess is what it is. I don't think I've said it out loud very much before that moment, but I digress. North America, I feel, has got the sandwich game down. I'll give credit where credit's due, though. Well, why not? Please, don't make me regret my decision. I know there's more items to be had there, but the game was nice to us. Let's be nice to the game. That's the way I see it. So we have an Ankh that can bring us back to life, and we have a Dark Judas that can bring us back to life. I'd prefer to use neither if possible. I only even bring it up because the sandwich thing. Because North America gets raked over the coals for food. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. You gotta respect America for food. Is there a certain stereotype of, like, parents feeding their kids dinosaur chicken nuggets for dinner every night? Yeah, you know. I'm not trying to necessarily bring class into it, but it's a cheap food that kids like to eat, and it's probably not good long-term to feed it to them when they want it, because it'll mess up their food preferences for life. But you get the idea, right? Like, it's not that they think that's the height of cuisine. It's just that, you know, circumstance dictates it sometimes. End up going for convenience over quality. By the way, don't ever insult dinosaur chicken nuggets, or I'll be forced to acquiesce, whatever that means. Are you? But, you know, U.S. is so culturally, you know, it takes cultures and it encapsulates them, and then it turns them into an American version of themselves, and then it makes the most amazing foods as a result. California-style burritos. Dude, you're crushing it. Keep it up. New York pizza. Absolutely. Boston pizza. That's a Canadian chain, and I'm making a joke. Thank you for not being delirium. Other various foods. Chili, for example. Even like Japanese fusion. There's not, like, I'm okay with traditional like Japanese food, but I love going to a Japanese fusion place and they're like, hey, we took all the Japanese stuff and deep fried it. I'm like, you're geniuses. How did you, why doesn't this place have 1 million locations? So just, you can disrespect America in some capacities, but you gotta give them a little credit on the food game. And you know, this is like someone from New York giving a compliment to Chicago-style pizza, okay? Because, like, Canada, we love America, but we also hate America because they're, like, our closest rivals. And, like, what boggles my mind, I was watching The Family Feud the other day on Buzzer, which is the Twitch channel that plays these old game show reruns. Sorry, I thought my door was opening there for a second. Between the phone call from the child and all that, feeling like I'm haunted right now, maybe? Hopefully not. It's like, this. Excuse me, this is a Japanese sandwich manufacturer. Open up, you're under arrest for insulting. Anyway, you get the idea. And the question, I just want to point out, if you ever look at a map, Canada and America, there they are, stacked on top of one another. You ask me to name an American city, I could probably name, like, I'm not going to say 200, but I bet I can name, on average, 3 per state. And probably, like, you know, I might only be able to get, like, 1 or 2 in Wyoming. You got Cheyenne and Laramie. I know you were going to test me there. But when it comes to California, you know, New York State, Illinois, Washington State, Nevada, you know, Arizona, I can name, like, 8 or 9 in these places. So, no problem, okay? The question for Family Feud, Family Fortunes, if you're British, was name a Canadian city. And I'm going to try to remember the answers. 5 on the board. Toronto. Bing. Number 1 answer. Great job. Montreal. Well, the pronunciation is a little anglicized, but that's okay. I'm not going to be mad at you. Bing. Number 2 answer. Great job. Calgary. They said Calgary, but just ignore that. Bing. Number 5 answer. Quebec. Well, technically, that's almost like astute, because it is called Quebec City in English, but then on the map, it's just called Quebec. Bing! Number 4 answer. 3 strikes remaining, 3 guesses. What do they say? First one. Alberta. Okay, I'm gonna level with you. Alberta, not a city, it's a province. I digress. Second person, you get an X. You don't come up with an answer in 5 seconds, you get an X. Final person, I don't know. Manitoba, not a city. Literally, you thought of 4 Canadian cities, you can't think of a 5th one? You were your next door neighbors. Hey, let me run one by you. How about the capital of the country, Ottawa? How about, you know, obviously we're a little biased up here. How about Vancouver, you know? City of 3 million people. 3rd most populous city in Canada. Regularly voted one of the most livable cities in the world as long as you make 7 figures a year. That's the kind of stuff that, you know. I'm like, we know everything about your country. We know too much. I know things about America I'd rather forget. You can't name 5 Canadian cities? That's just an insult. I hope you understand. Like, I mean it with no ill will, because I guess you come by it honestly, but, you know, when we're your next door neighbors and you can't even name 5 freaking cities, it's not like it's a frozen wasteland up here, you know? It's a first world country. 30 million people live here. It's crazy, dude. It's a little insulting, so wrapped up in your own business. Anyway, I digress. It's almost coming across like a little offensive with my American cousins. I don't mean it like that. All I'm saying is I'm encouraging you, you know? Learn a little bit about the world around you. Get a passport. Drive up the border sometime, dude. You don't have to visit Vancouver. Unless you're coming to the International. But, you know, like, go pay Windsor a visit. Hang out in Ottawa. Go to the Byward Market. Travel a little, you know? Interact with people with different viewpoints. Learn the names of 5 Canadian cities. It's crazy to me. I think I might be, like, a little bit outside of the norm. But I was like, I could probably name 5 cities in, I don't know, maybe like 30 or 40 countries. Originally, I was going to say something ridiculous, like 100, but that's just not true. I was like, even in, well, like France is easy, you know. You got Paris, Cannes, Provence, 2 other ones. Champagne, Alsace. Is that in Germany now? I don't know. But I can keep going, mostly because I played EU4. Dude, we might die here. We'll probably die here now that I look at it. Just dodge better. You know, England, you got all sorts. You got Peterborough, Loughborough, Loughborough, York, New York, London, New Old Town, Liverpool. You know, it's not that hard. I've been to these places once in my entire life, or 0 times in my entire life in some situations. I'm not even joking with you. When it comes to America, like I'm busy doing other things here. I'm playing the game. But I can name 5 American cities in like 10 seconds. And that's not fast, that's just realistic. Washington, D.C., Seattle, New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago. Easiest thing in the world. That's why it's like, just, it's still tearing me up, dude. I'm just saying, it's a little, it makes you feel small. And I know, I mean, geographically we're large, but. Okay, so this is us as Blue Baby, and I think as Blue Baby, we're not very good right now. What are our bombs like? Just regular bombs, but a lot of them. So let's come back as Dark Judas if we die here. I'm gonna genuinely try to win, but if we die here, come back as Dark Judas. Just remember as well. Okay, we did get hit, but like I'm really trying to not get hit. For obvious reasons, but the non-obvious reason is that when we get hit, our damage becomes halved. I was more like, I had like an oh honey sort of look on my face, because I was like, if you could literally just name, I don't even know what the 4th city was, by the way. It could have been something stupid. Maybe it was like, I don't know, Fredericton. I would have been mad. But at least I would have been on their side. I would have been like, you know what? You shouldn't be expected to know Fredericton. I don't expect Americans to know Fredericton. Moncton, something like that. I'm picking on the Maritimes, but same way I wouldn't expect a Canadian to be like, you know, to know what Laramie, Wyoming is. Or even like Minneapolis. I'm cutting them some slack, but I was like, you're playing for $5,000. Your ignorance has now cost you a sizable amount of money. So I feel like we might have just thrown away our chance at a streak here, but I'm genuinely, for real, gonna try to make it work. I just wish that I could see. I want to pick up some extra hearts if possible, which is why I'm exploring. I want to, you know, if there's like an easy to find secret room, second secret room, that could be extremely important. There should be more bosses as well. See, and this is why, like, allow me, because I'm doing the same thing that I'm accusing that family of doing. My own ignorance is costing me here, and I'm blaming somebody else. But, I want to, well, we're going to blow these up, but I want to have fun playing Isaac. I want to streak. I think if we're going to try to do some streaks, we just have to have an easy rule. And the rule is very simple. No delirium, no hush. And I'm like, I'm a little salty about it, but I can't really for the life of me fathom why now that I'm thinking more closely about it. Maybe it's just a wise rule. Like, I can't be trusted with these high responsibility boss fights. You just gotta play them so differently. And it is my own fault that I, you know, took that much damage against Delirium, but, you know, I want to blame somebody else. It's really what it comes down to. Okay, Balls of Steel, please? No? No?
makes you larger.
Well, we should take a hematemesis because it could give us a bunch of demon hearts or spirit hearts. Oh, it's amazing. Does this work?
Hematemesis.
I thought, you know, the thing is, I don't think we're likely to find our secret room or second secret room just because the floor is so large. So I thought that even just to try it, if it worked, I would be over the moon. Always happy to find directions we've never been. Did that open? It's a regular secret room? Okay. Obviously, we've been here. I think we're probably done. I think we're probably going to lose, but I think this should be counted as a win, selfishly, because I want it to be. I will accept as well, you know. Canadians, we got a chip on our shoulder about our country. It's why, you know, Canadians watch the Olympics. We're extremely avid Olympics watchers. That doesn't make us unique, I'm sure, but, you know, think about what makes the Olympics like, oh, you just walked right into the red poop. When I think about watching the Olympics, there's like two things I think about. I'm like, first, great hockey. Secondly, I want to see us beat the Americans. We're definitely done. It's not a good look. I'm gonna level with you. You know, a lesser person, a more dishonest person wouldn't be as truthful to you as I'm being right now. But like, even when it comes to Olympic hockey, I'm like, number one thing I want is the gold. If we can't win the gold, at least knock the Americans out of the tournament. It's this regional rivalry. It's like, you know, nobody else can insult them but me. That's my opinion on this subject. It's like a little brother situation. We deserve to lose there for our bad attitude, but also shouldn't have gone delirium to begin with. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.